If there's one thing that I would attribute most of my success throughout my career, and one thing that I've done that has burdened me so much and I've lost so much capital, and you surely know that trading is not a question of simply compounding consistently being robotic. It's mainly about having the quality of decision mostly right. And if that's one thing that I can share with you, is beforehand, I want to share with you a story. Okay. And that story goes along the fact that we're all prompt to do the same mistake. All of us. We're living in a society where it's fast and it's going faster and faster, right? Speed is what is getting the most valuable assets around what we value so much. And the fact that we love speed, there's also the paradox of the opposite detrimental effect is that our attention span is getting lower and lower. So if our attention span is getting lower and lower, we want the result faster and faster. And if there's one thing that we all do and we're all victim of is lack of preparation. I love book. I love reading pretty much every day. If someone asks me a question about books, what I've noticed is that I recommend them books. Sure, I might have a better narrowed, specific range of books that could be better for someone. But what I've noticed is that I'll give you an example. My sister, I sent her a series of quotes on Instagram, and she loved it. So this morning I was at the Starbucks and I was reading on an e-reader, okay, on my iPad basically. And she said, "Hey, Payman, you're not supposed to read on your iPad, right? Because you remember I have this thing going on with my head, alopecia, and apparently stress is related with that. So anything that is against that will surely help me, right?" And it says the best thing to do is to read on a physical book. Sometimes I don't have it. And she said, "Well, you shouldn't read on an iPad." And then I said, "My dear sister, I'm a student. I'm not a follower, right? When someone recommends you something, do the inquiry first, think for yourself, and then eventually take the action. Okay, just don't listen blindly." I mean, once upon a time, we thought the earth was flat, right? It wasn't flat. So, the point I'm trying to make here is afterward, I told her, "Hey, look what I'm reading right now." And I was reading a book from Nassim Taleb. And one of the quotes was quoted on the actual slide that I sent to her. And then she said, "All right, I'm going to order it." Right? Black Swan, that's the book. And then I said, you shouldn't actually read that book because it's very difficult and I'm a little bit more advanced when it comes to reading. I don't think she's going to like it. Not because it's not a good book, it's because her comprehension and also maybe her interests. He's all about the economy. It's maybe not aligned with what she would like to read. And then she went directly to actually order the book. And I said, "Sister, you didn't listen to my advice." And she's sent me a question mark. I said, "All the slide that I sent you, there was few names. And I recommend you to take 2 to 3 minutes of preparation, which is to read on those author. Not only just to read on those author, do an inquiry about the book that they wrote. And from the book that they wrote, you can maybe order one of it. The one that speaks to you the most. Because if you like those quotes," she surely did. She said, "Wow, what an amazing slides." Well, then look at all their books and the one that is calling you the most, order it. Because now you're going to invest hours of your time, but you saved yourself hours of your time by just taking the time to do some preparation and to order the right book for you, right? So imagine you're about to spend hours of your time reading a book while you could have taken a few minutes of preparation just to make sure that the book would be right for you. And that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have the right book, but you're going to get better. And so that's how you're going to save much more time. And this time will be compounded with much more understanding to have the better book eventually and to know what to filter and what not to filter. And so the example I'm trying to give to you is the same thing that is going on with trading. Most, even me, I was victim of it. I was going into the market, and what I was going is with the mindset of execution. So I was going there and execute, 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 take multiple of trade without any preparation. Lao Tzu said it very best. He said, "You win the war before you start the war." And that is to have a strategy, a plan beforehand. Know what you're looking at, know your enemy, know what he is about to do. Try to forecast as much as possible. And that way, my friend, you could have the best attack on your opponent. The best trade comes from the best preparation, right? I remember I used to have a podcast with one of my dear friend, Marc Antoine. We did a podcast with a professional mountain climber. His name was Zevi, if I'm not mistaken. But I remember one of his most important factor when it comes to mountain climbing. He said anything could happen. The temperature could change, and he's about to do Mount Everest. Temperature could change. Lack of oxygen, lack of food, lack of maybe layering any clothing, because they go there for days. He said things could change around your climb and the ascent of the mountain. But one thing that could prevent you and that makes the difference from good to great is how much you were prepared, how much training you have done beforehand to forecast as much as possible all the eventuality of all the uncertainty that could happen while you were climbing the mountain, right? The preparation was the key for them, and the preparation is also the key for us as traders. The more you're going to face uncertainty, the more preparation it is required. And so that's one thing that I want to leave with you guys. I want to know where I would die so I would not have to go. Well, for me to die in trading is to go there without any plan. It's to go there without any preparation and just to execute on whatever I see. And that usually is correlated with chasing the price. And you sure know what is chasing the price. If you're listening to this video, I'm sure you've been through a lot of trials and error. Chasing the price is very simple. The price goes up, you buy it. The price goes down, you sell. And then you're like, fuck, there's no breakout. And then it comes back to your face, does another retracement, and you know the drill. So hope this was insightful. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, share. And if you want me to talk about any other specific topic, it will be my pleasure. And we're going to do this series of I want to know where I would die so I would not have to go there. And it will give you a lot more insight. It's always my pleasure. God bless y'all. Cheers.